how do we ever do that?
How do we do that? Yeah, we must have missed so much revenue, and so many patients. And so anyway, and to what I've seen now in the last sort of 12 months in particular is just so many efficiencies in that pathway of if I'm not a clinic owner, but if I was a clinic owner, I'd be all over this. Do you know what I mean? I'd be wanting to know how I can firstly give the best possible service to all my clients, and also as an owner be fiducious in terms of making sure that I'm running the business as operationally well as possible. And obviously a lot of these multi-chain physio, psych, the primary GPs, dental, or whatever, there's a lot of PE funding and look, they talk numbers, don't they? You know it better than me, probably, Jared, but they are all about sort of the margin, the profit, EBITDA and profitability. And so therefore, where are you going to find that? You're going to find that in that journey, from admin, from all those elements of that journey, and a patient management software doesn't do that. And so therefore you need to have solutions that are going to be integral to either integrate with that or to have a role to play with managing that or understanding that. And I'm sure a lot of clinic owners don't fully understand all the functionality of what their PMS systems are, et cetera. But I just think it's a fascinating area, and I've just seen a massive explosion. Obviously the explosion of AI, et cetera, has changed the dynamics as well. But, there's some really smart operators out there doing some great things.
So it's interesting. I think the thing that makes that story different to what we might hear from others is that you've lived firsthand, I guess in some ways, through an era of care provision where it was tech second. And now you're saying, well, there seems like there's this moment in time where actually it can be tech first.
Yeah.
And many providers are still not operating that way.
Yeah.
And the thing that we always find interesting when we start working with a practice is we just try and understand what they understand about what is going on in their own house. So one of the questions that we always ask is, how many patients are in your database? Which seems like a very silly question.
Mm.
And 9 times out of 10, I think it's 10,431. It's like, oh, is that real? Is that not real?
Yeah.
And other times we will hear things from patients, from practices and healthcare providers saying that we'll ask them, how many patients or how many appointments last month canceled their appointment?
Yeah.
Everybody looks at each other. Practice manager looks at the principal clinician looks at the other, and the data is of course there.
Yeah.
No one's doing anything with it.